I work maintenance at the city archives. Not glamorous, I know. Most of my shifts are spent fixing flickering lights, unclogging drains, and arguing with old radiators that groan like they're possessed. The archives are huge, a network of underground halls built into a hill in the 1930s, back when people thought concrete and asbestos made things eternal. They don't. Everything down there crumbles, including reason. 3 nights ago, I found a corridor that shouldn't exist. Let me be clear. I've worked there for 17 years. I know every inch of that building, every tunnel, every service shaft, every storage alcove with its dusty steel shelving and mildew-stained folders. I could walk the place blindfolded. But this hallway, it wasn't just unfamiliar, it was impossible. I was down in sub-basement 3, checking a sensor that had been giving false humidity readings. Standard stuff. The air down there is thick, wet, and always 10 degrees too cold. I turned the corner past room 321, and there it was. A doorless entrance, about 8 feet tall, opening into a hallway that didn't belong. No warning signs, no labeling, no lights. Just darkness. The cement surrounding it was older than the rest of the basement, with a color like dried bone. I leaned in, trying to see where it led. My flashlight barely touched the walls inside. No dust on the floor, which was strange since every other hallway in the archives is coated with decades of it. I radioed it in, half joking. "Hey Carla, you guys building a secret wing down here without telling me?" She laughed. "You finally snapped?" But when I asked her to pull up the blueprints for sub-basement 3, her laughter stopped. That part of the structure hadn't changed since 1974. No renovations, no additions. That corridor wasn't on any map. I should have walked away. Instead, I stepped inside. The first thing I noticed was the silence. Not quiet, silence. Even in the deepest levels of the archives, you hear the hum of electricity, the distant churn of fans, the occasional drip of water. But here, nothing. My boots didn't echo. My breathing sounded distant, like it belonged to someone else. The walls were lined with closed metal doors. No labels, no handles, just smooth, brushed steel. I tried pushing one open. It didn't budge. My flashlight caught something scratched into the surface of the third door on the left. Not words, symbols maybe. Circles intersecting lines that bent where they shouldn't. Looking at them made my eyes water. The corridor stretched on. I kept walking. After maybe 50 steps, I noticed the walls were changing. The cement floor faded into something smoother, almost like polished stone. The temperature dropped. My breath clouded in the air. I tried to radio Carla again, but got only static. And then the hallway turned. There was no sound, no footsteps, but I suddenly knew I wasn't alone. I swung the flashlight around. The beam caught a shape at the far end. At first, I thought it was a person, but the proportions were wrong. Too tall, limbs too long. The head was tilted sideways, like it was studying me. I froze. It didn't move. Neither did I. Then, it began to walk. Slowly, one step at a time. The sound returned. Clicks, like metal tapping against stone. I backed up, flashlight trembling in my hand. My body screamed to run, but my legs locked. I couldn't breathe. It passed through the beam of light. It wasn't a person. Its skin was gray, smooth, and tight, like wet clay stretched over a frame. No eyes, only a long slit where the mouth should be. It had no visible nose. Its hands hung past its knees. Each finger was long, jointed wrong, ending in curved nails that scraped the floor. And it smiled. I don't know how I knew that, but it was smiling. I turned and ran. The hallway behind me stretched longer than before. My boots pounded the stone, my breath burned in my chest. I didn't look back. I couldn't. The air was vibrating with a hum now, not mechanical, but alive, a low note that sank into my bones. When I finally burst through the opening into sub-basement 3, the sound stopped. I turned. The corridor was gone. Only the cement wall remained. I collapsed against the door to room 321 and screamed until Carla found me. They told me I'd hallucinated, that the air quality sensors had been malfunctioning for days, probably releasing mold or gas into the vents. They made me take a week off. I played along, but I knew what I saw. I went back last night. I had to. Something had changed in me. Since that night, I've been dreaming in shapes, circles within squares, lines spiraling into black centers. I wake up sweating, heart pounding, unsure if I'm still asleep, and I hear it. That hum. It starts low, then builds, until I can feel it in my teeth. It's not coming from outside. It's in my head. So I returned to the archives. I told no one. At 2:17 a.m., I reached sub-basement 3, and it was there again, the hallway, yawning open in the same spot. No hesitation this time. I stepped in, gripping my flashlight like a weapon. The air was colder, the silence deeper. The doors looked the same, but now they had numbers, carved directly into the steel in a script I didn't recognize. I reached door 7 and stopped. The humming grew louder. I don't know why I opened it. My hand moved on its own. The door didn't resist. Inside was a room the size of a walk-in freezer. The walls were lined with shelves, and on those shelves were jars. Dozens of them, each filled with cloudy liquid and something floating inside. Faces, not full heads, just faces. Flattened and pressed against the glass like they were trying to scream. I recognized some. Carla, Mr. Jensen from Records, even my father who died in 2009. They weren't alive, but they weren't dead either. Their eyes twitched, their lips moved soundlessly. I stumbled back, and the creature was there again, blocking the door. Only this time it wasn't smiling. It stepped closer and whispered. Its mouth didn't move, but I heard the words inside my skull. You opened the 7th. You cannot leave. I don't remember how I got out. I woke up in my car, parked outside the archives. My hands were bloody. My flashlight was gone. My ID badge had melted plastic along the edge. When I tried to go back inside, the entrance was sealed with yellow tape. They say there was a gas leak, structural failure. They're sealing off the lower floors permanently. But I know better. Something is down there, still whispering, still waiting. And sometimes, late at night, I hear a door creak open down the hallway of my apartment building. But there is no door at the end of my hall. At least there wasn't yesterday.